Hi, Grandma Debbie here. Okay, so today my husband and I are going to cook again together, and we are making shepherd's pie. We're using leftover roast, a little bit of leftover mashed potato, and leftover gravy. We're also making additional mashed potatoes because we don't think we feel like we have enough, so we're currently making some additional. All right, so I know that technically, to call it shepherd's pie, we're supposed to be using lamb, but we're using beef, and I've grown up calling it shepherd's pie my whole life, so it's hard to change now at this point. Okay, so we're gonna get going, and we got lots to do, so come along with us. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we need to chop up some hamburger. We need to chop up an onion, or I guess you could call it hamburger, whatever. It's an onion. But that needs to be chopped up. And then we're going to be cutting up the meat, chopping it up a little bit. And so we're going to get going on it. And while he's doing that, I'm going to get out the cheese and start grating some cheese. So this is really a delicious recipe. It's a great way to use leftovers. However, if you don't have leftover roast, you can just use hamburger and go that route. But it's a great way to use leftovers. The amount of cheese is whatever you want. If you want it extra cheesy, then add more cheese. If you don't want it extra cheesy, then use less cheese. It's completely 100% up to you. That is enough onions, yes. So normally when you're making this and you're using hamburger, you cook the hamburger with the onions. But since we're using roast, we're just kind of basically going to warm up the roast with the onions. Because the roast is already cooked. We just need to warm it up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. So we're recording this actually on New Year's Day, and I hope that you have an amazing New Year's, that it started off great for you. So ours is going pretty good. We tried to sleep in a little bit, but because we are not good at doing that, we ended up getting up pretty much around our normal time. But that's okay. Just got us an early start on the day. Oh, sorry. Trying to maneuver around each other in the kitchen. So if you don't ever cook with your spouse, significant other, partner, whatever, you should give it a try. It really is fun. It also will either cause arguments or cause you to grow closer together. One of the two. Because you sometimes have difference of opinions when it comes to way things should be done. But it's completely up to you. I think for the moment we have probably enough cheese. If we need more, I will grate more, but I think right now we have enough. So I'm just going to set this off to the side and hold off on it. And I am going to go wash my hands, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got out the mixed vegetables. And I don't know how much is in here. It's a bag full. So, but you can use as much vegetables as you want, or no vegetables, whatever you want to do. Now, we haven't decided yet on what size casserole dish we're going to use. We're going to see how much meat we have and determine from there, which I highly recommend you do that, because if you don't have a lot of meat, then you don't need a big casserole dish. So, but you could also do this with Well, clearly you can do this with lamb if that's what you so choose to do. But you can use, you know, hamburger. Leftover roast is just delicious because it's already flavored with whatever you've seasoned your roast with. And it's a great way to use up roast. I'm not a huge fan of leftover roast, so to me there's a great way to get rid of our roast, to use it up. So can you see what my husband is doing? I'm gonna get the camera just a tad bit closer. So he's a great help.
I try.
He does a great job. So, and this leftover roast is from when we made the garlic crusted roast, which that video will go out before this one goes out. So you'll be able to see that one first. I guess we had more breading than what we had anything else, huh?
Those breadcrumbs were good.
I say we probably add them into the casserole. I think that'd be good, don't you?
Oh, a little bit of them, sure.
Yeah, not all.
Absolutely.
Because it looks like there might be some meat in some of them.
You see some meat, bring it out.
Well, I will pick through. Well, maybe I'm not seeing there's meat here. Here. I guess I'm not seeing as much meat as I thought I did. Must be seeing things.
Do we want to get out the big skillet to saute this? Warm it up?
Yeah, I'll get that out.
All right.
Rinse my hands real quick.
Ooh, a pretty good pile of meat here.
Well, I'm going to turn on the oven to get it preheated.
Okay.
Okay, so you get to watch us walking around the kitchen getting things done. But that's part of cooking, right? So we're going to be sauteing the onions with the meat together. We're going to add a little bit of the breadcrumbs in, not all of them, just some, into the casserole. We have leftover gravy, which if we need more, we can always make more. Just depends. And we've got mashed potatoes. We had leftover mashed potatoes, but not enough, so my husband made some more. So we are good to go. So I'm preheating the oven. I'm preheating it to 350. And you're just going to cook it, because everything is really pretty much cooked at this point. You're just warming it all up together and meshing it together. So you're going to cook it until the mashed potatoes are a little bit browned and the cheese is melted, because you're going to sprinkle cheese over the top of it, and that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to serve it up, and it's going to be delicious. We anticipate that we will have enough for lunch tomorrow or dinner tomorrow night. We haven't decided. We'll see how we go. But that's what we're going to do. And I think looking at this, we're definitely going to have enough to do all kinds of stuff. You ready to bring stuff over?
Nope.
Okay.
Get her hot.
Okay, well, while we're waiting for the skillet to get hot, I'm going to move the camera over there. So we've got mashed potatoes over there that we're just letting cool off a little bit. He's heating the skillet, and it's getting nice and warm. And my husband's going to be bringing over the onions that he's going to start sauteing. And he's checking, when you do that, all you're doing is checking to see if it's hot enough, and look at it sizzling. So it's hot, it's getting there. And we just used a white onion that we had left over in the refrigerator, and we used a half of an onion, but you can use more. I mean, the nice part about these kinds of recipes is that you can use more if you want more. You can use less. It's completely up to you as to how you want to do this.
or are you alright with the seasoning?
No, let's go ahead and add some. Whoa. Sorry guys, I just like opened my cupboard without realizing that you're right there. Didn't think about it. I'm not going to put them back right now since you're right there. It'll be like smacking you in the face. Do we have the meat?
Not yet. Meat will cool this down really fast.
Oh, okay.
Just like deep frying, this meat is cold, so it's going to really cool down. And then, obviously, with everything else.
So how big of a casserole dish do you think? Let's get it out and get it ready. I'm opening the cupboard again. Sorry, guys. Because I want cooking spray.
What do you think?
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so while you guys are watching that, I'm going to go over and spray the casserole. I can get plenty of cheese. I don't really bore you.
We'll see.
Okay, then I'll leave it out. You want to mix it all in a bowl before we put it in the casserole dish?
Yeah. Okay, so we're just warming up the meat now from last night's dinner.
I'm going to go ahead and add the veggies to the bowl.
Oh, absolutely, whatever.
So just for some context, we usually talk like this to each other when we're cooking. We run ideas off of each other. We don't always agree. I'm just going to say that. But we
She
try
always
to,
wins, though.
we try to always agree on things. We both have different ways of doing things. But in the end, our meals always come out delicious. And that's pretty much what matters. So, and we're still happily married, so after 40-something years, 43 years, so we must be doing something right. I'm telling you guys, if you could smell this, it smells so good.
And we're just cooking this a little bit more because it was a little bit rare for our liking. We grabbed the ends last night for dinner, but we're going to make sure that this meat's all nice and sauteed and cooked. And
Now, if you were doing this with hamburger, at this point, this is what you would be doing. You would be cooking your hamburger, and you would be breaking up your hamburger into small little pieces. And so this is what you would be doing. But, and then, you know, you can add different seasonings if you want to. You don't want to make your hamburger bland. You don't want to make your shepherd's pie bland tasting. So you want to add seasonings. And the seasonings are 100% as to what you want. For me, I probably would have added garlic powder. I would have probably added onion powder. I might have even added like something from the Kinder's seasoning selection. So I might have added some of the buttery garlic flavored, or I might have added the blend. So it just depends on what you want to do. You know your spice level, you know what your family likes, so you add whatever spices you want to add.
is the gravy going in?
It goes in when you do that. Oh, I didn't think about that. Do you want to warm it up? Then go ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that gravy. Do you think we should add more, or do you think that's going to be good?
That's going to be plenty.
Okay. So I already put the veggies in the bowl, and when we head over that way to mix it, to get everything ready to go, I will show you at that point what we do. Oh yeah, get all that goodness out.
Put the vegetables right in here instead
Okay.
of in the bowl.
Well, I already put them in the bowl, but yeah, we can.
No, we can. Yeah.
I'll bring them on over. It's going to cool it off because they're frozen.
Oh, absolutely.
So we had a change in plan, guys. We're putting the veggies in here. It's kind of what cooking's all about.
And they're frozen, so it's going to cool things down a little bit, but it's also going to make it all nice and...
Yeah. It's all about using as many dishes as you possibly can. Just kidding.
Many dishes.
I'm just joking.
So the sous chef has to clean them.
Man, that looks good.
I'm hoping so.
All right, so you want me to bring the casserole dish over?
Let's give this just about a minute to kind of
Okay.
do its thing. Yeah, it just started, so you heard the boom.
Yeah.
So
we're having problems with our stove right now. So it's a hit and miss whether or not it comes on when we turn it on, or if it's the correct temperature.
And we don't need any more of this.
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. Unless we wanted to dump some of it on top. What do you think?
I think we're okay.
Okay.
She was over there.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to move you over to the other side of the kitchen. We're back and forth, so you guys know my drill. So I've sprayed the casserole dish. You don't necessarily have to, but I always feel better about spraying it. So we're going to add this delicious food first. Do you want me to do anything?
No.
And then we're going to add mashed potatoes on top. And then on top of the mashed potatoes, we're going to add cheese. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Doesn't that look good? Can you see it? It looks wonderful. She's doing an amazing job. And I'm just standing here directing.
She's a good director.
And you can add as much mashed potatoes as you want or as little. It's completely up to you as to how you want to do it. But you just want to spread it out a little bit. And I've mentioned before that we prefer our mashed potatoes a little more rustic and not as creamy as some people, but so you can make your mashed potatoes as creamy or as rustic as you want. We like to have a little bit of the potato chunks in there. What do you think, guys? Looks good, huh? Okay, that looks good. Did a great job.
Right?
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so now we're just going to add the cheese. And you can add as much or as little as you want. You don't even have to add cheese. And you can add whatever kind of cheese you want. I can't even speak. So just use whatever you happen to have. We have cheddar, so that's what we're using. But if you don't have cheddar cheese, use whatever. You know, the nice part about these things is that you can do and change however you want to make it fit your family needs or your needs.
You want more?
Looks good to me. Do you want more? Okay. Never enough cheese.
Just makes it all cheesy gooey. Good.
Okay. All right, so the oven is still preheating, so once it gets preheated, we're going to put this in the oven, and we're only going to cook it until the mashed potatoes are a little bit brown and the cheese is melted, because everything else is already warmed up. So all we're really doing is just adding more, warming more of it. Okay, so I will bring you back when we take it out of the oven. Okay, so we just took it out of the oven. We cooked it for roughly about 20 minutes, something like that. So we're just going to let it cool off a little bit because it is steaming hot. I do recommend that you put a pan underneath it because this spilled over into the oven. So we have a mess, but that's okay. That happens. So I recommend that if you fill it up as high as we did, that you put a pan underneath it to cook it. So when I do slice into it, I will take a picture and I will include it in this video. So that you can see. So I do want to thank you though for coming along with me on this journey and having a good time in the kitchen with my husband. We always have fun cooking. We sometimes squabble a little bit, but in the end we still have fun. I bounce ideas off of him, he bounces ideas off of me, and it's just great. And if you have never cooked with your spouse, significant other, or partner, I highly recommend that you do it, or even with your kids, because it's just a great bonding experience. And you know, they have different ideas than you do, and you learn from each other, and that's what I'm about. I want to learn. He wants to learn, so we work great together in that aspect. So once again, this is going to be coming out after the first of the year, and I just want to say Happy New Year. I hope that you have an amazing 2025, and I have some really great ideas that I plan on posting and doing, and I hope you stick around for that. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share button, and I will see you soon. Thanks, and have a great day.